Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Born226, and I'm back again for another rant video. And I'm also, while I test my brand new items, the Classic Mario, the Green Circuit, and Mushroom Glider at 50cc. And there's the rant video, so in a minute I'll switch the landscape. And now. So, as many of you know, I absolutely hated this tour. And it doesn't exactly go without merit that this tour honestly just kind of sucks. And not a whole lot of people get why it sucks, but me and a few other creators can tell you why. And first point to bring up is that this tour is trying to do what the 1.5 anniversary did to bring people back into the game, but a lot worse. How's it a lot worse? First example, they turned up the ranked difficulty again, and not only that, but they made the bots. That motion glider looks sick with this combo. Anyways, so the first point of why it sucks is that first things first, they made the bots extremely aggressive on every track again. Now, it's one thing for like city tracks or like the main track, but this is an issue with every single track in this tour. And that is not an over-exaggeration. Every single track in this tour has that problem right now. And, yeah. It was fine when they first introduced it, you know, back when people were, first starting to get good at the game, and then, everything just became kind of stale. And, yeah. But then from there, what they tried to do is they tried to copy what they did for Blue Yoshi and Green Shy Guy with the new driver, Blue Free Runner Koopa. Now, the reason why the circumstance of getting this character suck right now is simply because they didn't scale it. They didn't scale it the same way that they did in the. They didn't scale it the same way that they did in the 1.5 anniversary. Back in the 1.5 anniversary, if you were higher tiered, you'd have an easier time getting Blue Free Runner Koopa. Now, when you're in a higher tier, you're basically just screwed, because the game just doesn't care how much of a higher tier you are anymore. It's basically giving even less of a reason to be in a tier higher than 45. Know what I'm saying? You see how it is in the dark in the dark environment with this stuff. But anyways, so with that all being said, those are the two main problems that come with this tour. Now, the reason why I've held off on trying out Classic Mario in the main video is mainly because, well, even though I did get him for free, he has 0 top shelf or even second shelf this tour, so nobody's going to be able to use him. Hence, if you look up there, the reason why he only has 1 item slot up there. That is not an editing, that is not a fake, that is actually real. That Classic Mario is bottom shelf in every single cup this tour. I don't understand why they gave us Classic Mario if they weren't going to give us any top shelf tracks for him, or even second shelf tracks for him. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And now the Mushroom Glider, they gave it to... Now the Mushroom Glider, yes, it's pretty cool. It was Racer Mario's glider, and not a whole lot of people pulled on that pipe. And even though the Mushroom Glider was added to the normal Super Pole, it just doesn't... like, it's not really going to be that useful, this tour, since until they add into the daily selects, not a whole lot of people are going to level it up. And let's be honest, they're probably done adding more things to daily selects. And so that's basically one of the issues with this tour itself. Oh, and also not to mention the fact that we only got one GBA track after four straight tours, meaning 2 straight months of filler, and all we get is a GBA track. It's like they're just trying to make us mad. Like, a lot of people have been defending this, but this is not something to be defended, really. Like, you shouldn't encourage... Like this is just Nintendo being lazy. This kind of thing shouldn't exactly be encouraged. Like, and people come up with the excuse that it's hard to program. They've made harder tracks in the game. They've made much more big and advanced and massive tracks in the game before. Example, 3S Rainbow Road. And so that issue, part of the issue, is completely debunked from this whole conversation. And so then we move on to not only the personal thing, now we move on to the personal stuff. And alright, I think I'm gonna try this. Actually, yeah. So now the rest of why I hate this tour comes from a lot of personal issues I have with the tour. One of the biggest personal issues I've had with this tour so far is, well, mainly the public concerns as one, but also they didn't bring back the Star Spangled Flyer for any part of this tour whatsoever. They didn't bring it back in the premium challenges. They didn't bring it back in the tier shop or the token shop. And yeah, and the reason why they should have done it in this tour is because the dates of this tour line up with the fact that over here in the US, there was a holiday that went on July 4th called Independence Day, where people have fireworks. Now, you'd think that they'd at least acknowledge the fact that the holiday exists by bringing in the perfect cart. Like, they don't even need to celebrate it, necessarily. They just need to acknowledge it by bringing in the cart. I was expecting them to bring in the cart this tour, and they didn't even do that. As you saw in my reaction, even though there was no audio, you could definitely see my disappointment. And even though it's hard to understand what my disappointment was over, now I'm just going to say it right out here, right now, that most of the disappointment was stemmed from the Star Spangled Flyer not returning to the store. Now, the reason why I care about this car so much is because it's honestly one of my favorite carts design-wise. Scale-wise, also pretty cool. Value-wise, yeah, it needs a little more love. But yeah. So they didn't add in the Star Spangled Flyer to the store, which, I mean, I get it. This is a game for the entire world. It's not just about us, but you gotta realize that there was way too many circumstances that proved that they could have. They honestly could have. They wasted an opportunity. Oh, I'm getting a challenge. Week 2. Okay. And so, yeah, another one of my problems with the tour also has to do with the with the fact that, oh god dang it, what? Sorry, hang on, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'll cut to when I remember it. Oh yeah, now I remember. The next issue I have with this tour is the fact that they randomly decided to to ramp up the ranked difficulty again and give us a lot of really bad a lot of really bad competition. Biggest example, ranked. Like I said, they ramped up the difficulty for ranked again, and thus because of that, I was not able to get blue Freerunner Koopa. And that also does connect with the same problem of this tour just trying to do what the 1.5 anniversary did, but a lot worse. And you can see where I'm coming from, guys. Like, they just really weren't thinking things through when making this. Like, to be honest, I've always considered SNES track tours or GBA track tours to maybe be filler. Now this track, I can see that they put some time and effort into it, which I guess I can't consider the filler track, but yeah, generally the SNES... I didn't even know you could do that. But generally the SNES tracks... Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate this track. I honestly would love this track more if, if the circumstances of this track being in the game weren't so rough. Which circumstances brings me to my next point. The top shelf selection. Now, as you can probably tell, they have been slowing down on fully bringing these tracks into the game, meaning that they don't come with their reverse trick variant. And so yeah, that's another little nitpicky thing. They always just don't refuse to make the reverse trick variant. Like, does it really, like, it just really feels like they're just intentionally saving it for some disappointing filler tour later down the line. Another issue is with the top shelf. Now, granted, you have the main spotlight, Swimwear Daisy, and a Donkey Kong Jr. SNES. He's okay. I mean, this is a tropical themed course, so having a Kong on this track would have made perfect sense. Koala Baby Mario is a little hard to decipher why he's on top shelf at first, but then when you realize that he's on top shelf for this for the exact same reason he was for Sydney's Sprint, he's just Baby Mario with a backpack and ears. Explore Peach, she has somewhat of a reason to be here, because she's exploring and all. But then you have this Christmas driver, Fire Rosalina, who honestly does not have any business being on this track, because it's not cold. It's not cold. She's gonna set everything on fire with the fireballs, and that doesn't need to happen, because since the Cheep Cheeps aren't actually causing havoc on the track itself. And then Penguin Toad. If this were more icy or a little more Arctic themed track, which it's not, then I can totally see him being appropriate for top shelf. But no, he's not. So then, that's just the drivers. Like honestly, Pirate Bowser Jr. could have been top shelf on the main one, but then yes, you've got the Spotlight, the Sunny Surf Sailor, which is a recolor of the Surf Sailor with the Cloud9's tires, and then you've got the random paywall thing that honestly you'll only have if you were lucky enough to pull on those pipes. And then, yeah, you have the Jet Cruiser, you know. It's Koala Baby Mario's cart, which, honestly, it shouldn't just be his cart. Like, he should just get a recolor and let this one be for everyone. But then you've got these random, out-of-nowhere carts. Like the Decal Streamliner, I don't see why what it's doing on an island. Inferno Flyer, which is apparently Dry Bowser's card from his spotlight in the Bowser vs. DK tour. But then you've got these, which honestly, the Flame Flyer is the most sensible out of these four. The Wild Pink makes no sense in being here other than it's just here to gain value. And the Purple Bunny, which was a completely payable card that no free-to-play player should have. And I remember, I was forced to go without Gold Pass at the time. And, yeah, this random Rocket Start Plus card has been getting a lot of value for literally no reason. And its unlocked tracks aren't even that good. Rainbow Road R overlaps with the Platinum Taxi. And so, yeah. And then comes the glider situation. Sure, you have the Sunny Surf Master, which is, yeah, it's the Spotlight. And then you have the Starry Great Sail, which is honestly a weird pick at first until you realize that it's a pirate-themed glider. It's perfect for a sail track like this. Perfect for a sunny track like this. And then you've got the Penguin Wingtip. It's alright, it's cool. There's at least some penguins in a non-Arctic setting. And then you have the Black Great Sail, which honestly is a lot cooler than the actual Great Sail, which, to be honest, it having Banana Plus makes absolutely no sense. And yeah, I don't really like the Bullet Bill Plus skill much. But then again, a lot of people are seeming to think that Bullet Bill is the new meta now. So basically, metas. And then you have the Blacktopian Balloons, which is here for literally no reason other than to gain value. And same with the 8-bit Fireflower. Now, actually, with the 8-bit Fireflower, it's on a GBA track, and GBA was back around the time where side-scroller games had 8-bit graphics, or 62-bit or 120-bit graphics. So I guess I can give the 8-bit Fireflower a pass on this one. But the Blacktopian Balloons, no. And then we move on to the trick variant of Cheep Cheep Island. Now this is where things really start to make absolutely no sense. Swimwear Mario. He's alright. It's pretty understandable as to why he's top shelf. On a track where you're literally at an island, literally at a deserted island. Builder Toadette may not look like she makes sense at first, but then when you realize that she's just here because it's a T variant. And, I would almost say the same for Black Birdo, but that's not true. She's literally only here to gain value. And same with Halloween Peach. Now, Cat Toad. To anyone who knows about cats, this kind of thing would be an OCD nightmare. Because cats don't like the water. And Explore Toadette, yeah, she's just here to gain to gain a little bit of value. It makes sense. I mean, she has been lacking. And then we have the Pink Dozer, which I can guess that it's only here just because Builder Toadette's here. The Steel Driver, which this submarine-looking cart, which I have no idea why people even take to 7. Its value is kind of garbage. The Steel Driver, it makes sense because it looks like a submarine and it's modeled after a submarine, and it also comes from Mario Kart 8. as far as I'm aware. The Grand Badwagon, which is here just to gain value. And then you've got this, which it doesn't even make sense why this is on this track, because Penguin Toad is top shelf on the main track, not the trick track. So honestly, this would have gone better with him on that track. The Black Turbo Birdo is literally only here to gain value, and only because Black Birdo is top shelf. The Ramby Runner, which is only here to gain value, and I know a lot of you love this cart, and I honestly like the design of it too. I'd honestly go for it if it comes back, but most likely it's gonna come back all paywalled. The Star Spangled Flyer, which I'm kind of glad that it got buffed this tour. At least that's the one bit of love it does get. Yeah, it's only here because of the fact that I get my earlier point. They could have acknowledged it, and yes, they did give it a buff because the day 4th of July does land within this tour. But still, they could have at least given it to us, because it hasn't been available since the Los Angeles tour. And then you'd have the Spotlight cart, the cheap snorkel, which is Swimmer Mario's cart. And then you have the Spotlight glider and the Paywall glider. But then you just have these random... these three random gliders that have no business. I don't get why they keep buffing the Easter stuff. It's not that good. The Bright Balloons, it was paywalled. Rose Parasol, paywalled. Even at debut. 8-Bit Bullet Bill, paywalled. Sunset Balloons, not paywalled at first, but now paywall. From last tour even, or the tour before that, I don't really remember. So yeah, I'm going to show you a little run of this with my current setup. Actually, no. This video's already getting long enough, so... To end off, you have the R variant, which has its paywalled Mario SNES, which honestly, there is absolutely no reason why Mario SNES is top shelf in a GBA track. I mean, with Donkey Kong Jr., it at least made some kind of sense because it's a tropical area, and, but Mario SNES makes absolutely no sense. And then you have Koala Baby Mario, which, honestly, there for the same reason. Same with Explorer Peach. And Swimwear Daisy, which, honestly, it's kind of surprising how she got the R variant as well. Oh, wait, no. This is a tier boost. And then you've got the free-to-play friendly fan favorite, Funky Kong. He's been steadily gaining more and more value on useless tracks. Pirate Bowser Jr. He's here because he got buffed. Actually, no. He's here because he was in the pipe. He got buffed on this one because he was in the 50 pipe. Which, honestly, I didn't pull on because I already have Nabbit, King Bob-omb, and Pirate Bowser Jr. And then you have Blue Yoshi, who... honestly, has got to be the one super that is, honestly, the most valuable super in the game. Not even a single city track. And then you have the cart situation. You got the paywall cart, which honestly, if you guys can tell, I did not get the pack this tour, saying as I don't have 8-Bit Mario. Or SNES Mario, actually, sorry. And then you have the Gold Pass gift. The Gold Cheap Snorkel. It's okay. it's not exactly that desirable. I mean, Rocket Start Plus, it honestly fits with the cart, and then you have these oldies but goodies that got buffed, which I'm very glad. I should honestly take it to 6. And then you have the tier boosted Spotlight cart. And then you've got the return of like these two, yada yada. And then you got the Paintster. It's honestly kind of cool how this one card, which is one of the top shelf biggest cards in the game, is getting buffed like this. So yeah. So honestly, all those factors is why I gave this tour a 4 out of 10. I raised it to a 6 out of 10 in the Discord, in the Car Life Discord, but then I thought, no, this ain't exactly. That much of a buff. I mean, the green circuit is cool, don't get me wrong, it's just, it doesn't fit. It just seemed like it's only here because it's top shelf in Armex Rainbow Road 1, as you can see there. So yeah, I should probably end off this video before it gets too long. I've already made all my points, so thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Peace a lot, and bye.